R. Sucharita, Government Degree College, Karatabad, Hyderabad, Department of English. A warm welcome to the students of BA, BSc and BCom first year. So today we are going to do second semester, that is Shakespeare Retold, Julius Caesar, an extract from Act 3 and Scene 2. So now we are going to do he's William Shakespeare. The slide, it belongs to William Shakespeare, and he is Julius Caesar. So today we are going to first do the pre-reading questions. So are you familiar with the works of Shakespeare?
Yes.
Have you read or seen a performance of any of his plays?
Yeah.
Have you seen any film or television adaptation of Shakespeare?
Yes. Hamlet and King Bear and Macbeth.
King Lear.
King Lear, yeah.
So, do you know who Julius Caesar was?
Yes.
Do you know where he was from or which period in history he belonged to?
He is one of the Shakespeare's great tragic
Plays. Have you ever heard a speech that moved or inspired you?
Yes.
Do you know of any famous speeches?
Martin Luther King Jr.
Okay. So now we are going to do the glossary part. Ancestor. Ancestor is someone from whom you are descended, who came much before your grandparents. So I am a descendant of my father, and my father's father is my grandfather. And fathers are called as ancestors. From them we are descended. Okay, so they are called as ancestors. And then capital. So what is a capital? A capital, it here you can see on the slide. So capital, it is the building in which the Roman state legislature met. So it is a building in which the Roman state legislature met. So that is called as the Capitol. So you can see the picture on the slide, and this is the building. And then Commonwealth. Commonwealth is a political system in which the supreme power lies in a body of citizens who can elect people to represent them. So, Commonwealth is nothing but they are the citizens of that particular country, and they are called as the political system in which the supreme power lies, and they have the power to vote or elect people in order to represent them. So we are the citizens. In the same way, the citizens are called as the Commonwealth. Then degraded. Degraded means unrestrained by convention or morality. So looking down low. Okay. So it is unrestrained. By it may be by convention or by morality, that is called as degraded. Then indebted, owing gratitude or recognition to another for help or favors. So owing gratitude or recognition. So when somebody helps us, or if any person he does favor to us, then we owe gratitude, and they are recognized for their help or favor which is done to us. So we are indebted, and we owe gratitude towards such people. So that is called as indebted. Then Lupercal. Lupercal is an ancient Roman festival of health and fertility. celebrated in mid-February. So mid-February means somewhere at 15th of February, like that. That is called as the mid-February, and this is called as the Lupercal festival, and it is an ancient Roman festival which is celebrated on mid-February, that is February 15th, and this festival is celebrated for health and fertility. So that is called as Lupercal festival, which is celebrated in Rome. And then noble. Noble is having high moral principles. Having high moral principles, a person who has high moral principles, he is called as a noble man. Then rationally. Rationally means wisely and logically. A person is said to be wise when he is rational. His way of thinking should be rational and logical. Logical means sensible. So being logical and wise is called as rationally. So we ought to be rational. And then reason. Reason means an explanation of the cause of something. The ability to think clearly and logically when you are able to do reasoning. That is, when you are able to think clearly and logically, that is, sensibly, that is only called as reasoning. So, all these reasoning questions we have in competitive examinations. So, an explanation of the cause of something is called as reasoning. Then, tyrant. He is a cruel and oppressive dictator. A cruel and oppressive dictator is called as tyrant. And then, valour. Valour is a person who is brave, courageous, and heroism. The quality of heroism is called as valor. Valor is being brave, being courageous, and having heroic qualities is called as O mighty man of valor. So that is the expression. So with this we have completed the glossary part. Now we are going to do the introduction of William Shakespeare. So William Shakespeare is well known. Everybody knows about William Shakespeare. So William Shakespeare, he was born in the year 1564 and died in 1616. Is considered the greatest dramatist and poet of the English language. In Shakespeare's hands, English drama achieved a matchless brilliance, the first shone forth in his early history plays, such as those based on the reigns of Henry VI, Richard II, and Richard III, maturing into the romantic comedy of As You Like It and A Midsummer's Night Dream, and finally reaching its zenith in the great tragedies Hamlet, King Lear, and Macbeth. And in romances such as The Tempest, Shakespeare is also remembered for his many sonnets. So, the beauty and lyricism of which are admired even today. So, this is about William Shakespeare. So, still today they are famous, and most of the people admire the writings of William Shakespeare. So, he was born in the year 1564 and he died in 1616, and he is considered to be excuse me, the greatest dramatist. So, dramatist is drama is a play which is done on a stage. So, he is a greatest dramatist, not only a dramatist, but he is also a poet of the English language. In Shakespeare's hands, English drama achieved a matchless brilliance. So, nobody can match with Shakespeare. So his English drama achieved a great rank in the English world, and it is a matchless. He was so brilliant that first shone forth in his early history plays, such as those based on the reigns of Henry VI. So there are so many plays that he had written. That is Henry VI, Richard II, Richard III, and then maturing into the romantic comedy of his romantic comedies are As You Like It, A Midsummer's Night Dream, and finally reaching its zenith. Zenith is the peak. Peak is called as zenith in the great tragedies, and his great tragedies are Hamlet, King Lear, and Macbeth, and in romances such as the romantic comedies which he had written are The Tempest. Then Shakespeare is also remembered for his many sonnets. Sonnet means a 15-line poem. A 14-line poem is called as a sonnet. So, the beauty and lyricism of which are admired even today. Okay, so his beauty and the lyricism means the words of a poem is called as lyrics. Okay, so even today you can enjoy the beauty and the lyrics of which are admired even today. Many of the people admire the works of Shakespeare. Julius Caesar is one of the Shakespeare's great tragic plays. It opens with the celebration in the streets of Rome. The Roman general and statesman Julius Caesar has returned from a battle after defeating his political rivals. Rome is a republic governed by elected noblemen. Some of them fear that Caesar, who is popular among the common citizens and has the support of the army, could seize power and declare himself a king. Many Roman politicians, including Cassius and Brutus, were watch Caesar's rise to political power with suspicion. While Cassius is outright jealous, Brutus has the larger interests of Rome's people at heart. Cassius Casca and other politicians persuade Brutus that Caesar must be killed in order to save Rome. The thought troubles Brutus because Caesar has been a friend to him, but he agrees to join the conspiracy because he thinks it is best for the country. During a Senate meeting at the Capitol, Rome's legislative assembly, the conspirators brutally stab Caesar to death. The people of Rome are confused and agitated by the murder of a popular leader and demand answers. So you can see he is Julius Caesar. So Julius Caesar, he is one of the Shakespeare's great tragic plays. So in Shakespeare's tragic plays, Julius Caesar, he is one of the masterpiece of Shakespeare's tragic plays. So it opens with great celebration in the city, in the streets of Rome. So the act or the drama starts or it opens with a great celebration. That celebration it was done in the streets of Rome, and the Roman general and statesman Julius Caesar has returned from a battle after defeating his political rivals. So, Julius Caesar, he was the Roman general and he was the statesman. So, Julius Caesar, he has returned from a battle and he is such a great Roman general and statesman, that he defeated his political rivals. So, like that, Rome is a republic and then governed by elected noblemen. He was governed by elected noblemen, and then some of them fear that Caesar, who is popular among the common citizens and has the support of the army. So most of the people seeing Caesar, they very much fear. Why they fear? Because he may become popular, because all the common citizens, from the common citizens, he has a great support, and not only from the common citizens, but he has also the support of the army. Now he may seize power and declare himself a king. So, like that, everybody has a fear that he may declare himself as a king because he is having such a lot of support and he is a popular person. And then, and many Roman politicians, including Cassius and Brutus, watched Caesar's rise to political power with suspicion. So there are Roman politicians. He is a Roman politician. He, the whom you are seeing on the slide, he is Brutus. So he is Brutus, and he is a Roman politician. And then he is Cassius. So both these are the Roman politicians, and they have a suspicion that seeing Caesar's rise to political power, they have a suspicion, they have a doubt that he may become a king. So Cassius, Casca, and other political persuade Brutus that Caesar must be killed in order to save Rome. So he is Casca. So Cassius and then Brutus. So I have see. So he is Brutus, and then he is Cassius, and he is Casca. Okay. So Cassius, Casca, and Brutus, they rise to political power, and while Cassius is outright jealous. So, what Caesar's rise to political power with suspicion, while Cassius is outright jealous. Brutus has the larger interests of Rome's people at heart. So, Cassius was very jealous of Caesar's rise, and Brutus has the larger interests of Rome's people at heart. So, Roman people also liked Brutus at heart. He had that support. And then Cassius, Casca, and other politicians persuade Brutus. So, the politicians who are called as Cassius and Casca, they persuade. That means they convince Brutus that Caesar has been a friend to him, but he agrees to join the conspiracy. Actually, Brutus was the friend of Julius Caesar. So he is Brutus, who was the friend of Julius Caesar. So when these Cassius and Casca, when they persuade him that he must be killed, so he will be joining, or he will be agreeing to join the conspiracy. So in order to kill Caesar, so they made a plan. So conspiracy is nothing but conspiracy. It is a secret agreement to do something bad or illegal. That is called as conspiracy. It is a group a secret agreement which is made by the group to do something bad or illegal to someone. So this Brutus, he will be joining hands and he agrees to join that conspiracy of Cassius and Casca because he thinks it is best for the country. So during a Senate meeting at the Capitol, Rome's legislative assembly, already I have shown you, this is the Rome's legislative assembly which is called as Capitol. Capitol. So, during this Senate meeting at the Capitol, Rome's legislative assembly, the conspirators they brutally stab Caesar to death. So, very, uh, very brutally, very cruelly, they stab Caesar to death. Finally, their desire for Caesar to kill was done. So the people of Rome are confused and agitated by the murder of a popular leader. So since Caesar he was popular and he was a good nobleman and he fought greatly for the he won so many battles for this Rome. So, like that, the people of Rome who admired this Julius Caesar, they were confused and they also agitated by the murder of a popular leader, that is Julius Caesar, and they demanded answers why Julius Caesar was killed. So they demanded answers for that. So, the text you have just read is a prose paraphrase of an extract from Act 3, Scene 2 of Shakespeare's play. The original extract may be found in Appendix 1 after this lesson. Here, Brutus calms the restless crowd of commoners. He explains to the Roman citizens his fears concerning Caesar's ambition and why it was necessary to kill him. After listening to his speech, the crowd is convinced that Brutus and the conspirators did the right thing. They praise him for assassinating Caesar and delivering Rome from the evils of a dictatorship. Caesar's friend, Mark Antony, then addresses the crowd, as it is a tradition to speak at the funeral of a leader. Antony has been warned by the conspirators not to say anything against them. Antony does not say anything directly against the conspirators. Instead, he reminds the crowd of Caesar's many services to Rome. His praise of Caesar sways the crowd, who now turn against the conspirators. So the text which you have read, it is a prose paraphrase, and this extract it is from Act 3 and Scene 2 of Shakespeare's play, and the original extract it can be found in Appendix 1 after this lesson. And here you can see Brutus, he calms the restless crowd of the commoners, that is the Commonwealth or the common people. Brutus, he tries to calm them and he explains to the Roman citizens his fears concerning Caesar's ambitions, and slowly he will try. Brutus is trying to convince the the commoners, that is the crowd of the people, and then he explains to them, that is the Roman citizens, his fears concerning Caesar's ambition. And he tells that Caesar, he is very ambitious as he wants to become a king. So that is why he was killed and why it was necessary to kill him. So that was the reason why we killed him. So, after listening to his speech was so powerful that the common people or the citizens of Rome, when they listened to the speech, the crowd, it was convinced. That means they agreed that Brutus and the conspirators, they did the right thing. The people, that is, the people who were involved in that group, they did the right thing. All the common people, when they heard to the speech of Brutus, they were convinced and they thought it was the right thing which was done to Caesar. So they praise him for assassinating Caesar. So not only convincing to the speech, not only these common people were convinced by the speech, but what did they do? They praised. They praised Brutus for assassinating, for killing Caesar and delivering Rome from the evils of dictatorship. As he told, that is Brutus, told to the common people that Caesar is ambitious and Caesar and delivering Rome from the evils of a dictatorship. And they were praising whom? They were praising. So they were praising Brutus for what he did. That is what was for what which was done towards Caesar, and they thought that Brutus had delivered Rome from the evils of a dictatorship, that is Caesar. So Caesar's friend Mark Antony then addresses the crowd, as it is a tradition to speak at the funeral of a leader. So Julius Caesar's friend, he is Mark Antony. So Mark Antony, he will be coming to the funeral of his friend, that is Julius Caesar, and he starts addressing the crowd, as it is a tradition to speak at the funeral of a leader. For them, speaking at a funeral, it is a tradition. So, like that, Mark Antony, he came to speak at the funeral of a leader. So, Antony has been warned by the conspirators not to say anything against them. So, all the conspirators, they warned Mark Antony that you should not speak anything against us. So, like that, he was warned and he was given a permission to speak at the funeral. So Antony does not say anything directly against the conspirators because he was warned earlier. So that is why what did he do? He did not speak anything which was against the conspirators. So instead, what did he do? He reminds the crowd of Caesar's many services to Rome. So he is reminding the services of Caesar, how many services, how good he did to the people of Rome. What were the services which were done by Caesar? So his praise of Caesar sways the crowd. So all the people, when they were listening to the speech of Mark Antony, and the Mark Antony was praising Caesar. So he was a very noble, good, noble man. So when he was praising Caesar, all the crowd once again, it was they were his praise of Caesar. It sways the crowd. So the crowd was swayed when they heard to the praise of Caesar, and they turn against the conspirators. So who now turn against the conspirators? So now we are seeing the two powerful people with good communication skills. So, through their communication skill and through their speeches, the people, the people were attracted towards their speech, and they were turning towards them. So, the scene shows the power of oratory. So, oratory means the art of speaking, that is, having very good communication skills, which is the art of formal speaking. So, the art of formal speaking is only called as oration. It is an oration in public. We see two men speak at cross purposes, each using rhetorical devices to persuade the audience. So, what are they doing? These two men, that is Mark Antony and Brutus, both men, they are speaking at cross purpose, and they are using rhetorical devices, and they are persuading, they are convincing the audience through their speech. And people are in such a dilemma that they forgot who were good. So Brutus attempts to justify the assassination of Julius Caesar. He appeals to the crowd's wisdom and sense of honor and requests them to give him a fair hearing. He says that his love for Caesar was great, but his love for a free Rome was greater. He claims that Caesar was growing ambitious and that under the latter's dictatorship, Romans would live as slaves. He concludes that he has offended no one by killing Caesar, but has instead rendered the citizens of Rome a great service. So the commoners call for various honors to be bestowed upon Brutus. They are so impressed that they even talk of making Brutus their king, the very thing that prompted Brutus and the other conspirators to kill Caesar. So here we see two men, that is Brutus and Mark Antony, who are trying to persuade the audience. So, Brutus, he attempts to justify the assassination of Julius Caesar. He tries to justify the killing of Julius Caesar, and once again, he appeals to the crowd's wisdom and their sense of honor, and then and requests them to give him a fair hearing. So he says once again here to us. He says that his love for Caesar was great. Actually, Caesar and I, both of us, we are best friends. Both Julius Caesar and me, Brutus, both of us are friends, but his love for a free Rome was greater. But more than my friend, I love the country, that is Rome, he says. So, my love for the country is greater than my friend. And he claims that Caesar was growing ambitious. And he tells that Caesar, he is very ambitious and he is growing ambitious. And that under his dictatorship, Romans, they will become slaves. Once Julius Caesar becomes the king, then Romans will be living like slaves. So he concludes that he has offended no one by killing Caesar. So he says that I did not offend anyone by killing Caesar, but has instead rendered the citizens of Rome a great service. Instead of that, I did a great service to the people of Rome. I did a service by killing Caesar. So, this is the way he speaks to the commoners. So the commoners call for various honors to be bestowed upon Brutus. So all the commoners again they were convinced by Brutus' speech, and they call for honoring him and bestowing upon Brutus. So they are so impressed that they even talk of and they even think of making Brutus their king. So much they were impressed and so much they were convinced when Brutus speaks to them. So the very thing that prompted Brutus and the other conspirators to kill Caesar. So, like that, the very thing that prompted Brutus and the other conspirators is to kill Caesar. So, when Caesar's friend Antony comes to the pulpit to address the crowd, public opinion is very much in favor of the conspirators. Antony cannot condemn the conspirators without harm to himself. He claims he has no intention of praising his dead friend. He praises the murderers instead as honorable men. He says that if Caesar was ambitious, as described by Brutus, then his murder was indeed justified. However, he presents many arguments to prove that Caesar was not ambitious, while at the same time enumerating Caesar's good qualities. He uses emotional appeals to stir the crowd. Not once does he say anything against the conspirators, but his clever speech hits its mark. The crowd reasons that if Caesar was not ambitious, as claimed by Brutus, then his murder was a grave injustice. The mood of the commoners changes sharply once again, and they now cry out for the blood of the murderers. So, like this, when Caesar's friend Antony, when he comes to the pulpit to address the crowd, now Mark Antony, he came to the pulpit in order to address the crowd, in order to speak to the crowd. Public opinion is very much in favor of the conspirators. So, because earlier Brutus made a speech, so that is why all the people, they were in the favor of the conspirators, and they thought that it was good, a good thing was done by killing Julius Caesar. So Antony cannot condemn the conspirators. So Antony, actually, he was warned not to speak anything against the conspirators. Now he cannot condemn the conspirators without harm to himself. So how does he deal? He claims he has no intention of praising his dead friend. So he starts his speech like this, that I don't have any intention of praising my dead friend, that is Julius Caesar. He praises the murderers instead as honorable men. So all the conspirators who killed Julius Caesar, he will address them. Mark Antony addressed these murderers as honorable men. He says that if Caesar was ambitious, as described by Brutus, then his murder was indeed justified. So he is telling about Caesar. If he is ambitious, so as described by Brutus. So Brutus says that Caesar was ambitious, then his murder was indeed justified. So, if it is like that, if he is ambitious, then really his murder is indeed justice, what he had done. So, while at the same time enumerating Caesar's good qualities, he uses emotional appeals to stir the crowd. So, Mark Antony, he was stirring the crowd by using his emotional appeals, and he was enumerating about Caesar's good qualities. What are the good qualities in Caesar? What are the good things or services he had done to the people of Rome? So, not once does he say anything against the conspirators. So, Mark Antony is so clever that he doesn't speak anything against the conspirators, but he uses the vocabulary as honorable men. But his clever speech hits its mark. So, he attempted a very clever speech which hit the mark. And then the crowd reasons that if Caesar was not ambitious as claimed by Brutus, then his murder was a grave injustice. So again, he tells the crowd that if Caesar was not ambitious, then his murder, it is a grave injustice. This is not justice at all. Murdering Caesar is not justice. So the mood of the commoners changes sharply once again, and they now cry out for the blood of the murderers. Again, the mood of these common people, again it will be changing. First, it was changed when Brutus made a speech, and now when Mark Antony is making a speech, again these common people, that is the citizens, once again they will be changing sharply once again, and they now cry out for the blood of the murderers, and now they are crying for the blood of the murderers. Now they came to know the truth. Now they came to know about the goodness of Julius Caesar. So, like that. So, like that, once again, the speech was changed when Mark Antony had done. So, this short extract, it demonstrates two instances of the power of words. So, through the skillful use of well chosen language. So, what should we learn here? We should have good communication skills, and we should have the art of speaking well, that is oratory, the art of speaking, and choosing the well chosen language, and we should be skillful in speaking. Both Brutus and Antony, they managed to persuade their audience of the correctness of their respective thoughts and deeds. Shakespeare shows us the importance of mastering the ability to communicate effectively. So, what is William Shakespeare teaching us through this drama or through this act? So, he is teaching us that that the importance, he is teaching us the importance of mastering the ability to communicate effectively. So, whenever we communicate, we have to effectively communicate, and that is a skill that we have to practice and perfect for success in our personal and professional lives. So, two important characters, that is Brutus and then Mark Antony, they have the power of oration. So, immediately the crowd was persuaded, and the crowd was the crowd was convinced by their speech or by their oratory. So the play continues after this scene in the following manner: the common people of Roman riot and kill the conspirators. They manage to catch Brutus and Cassius, flee the city. Antony and his supporters gather an army to defeat Brutus and his supporters. Suspicion, mistrust, and a series of misunderstandings lead to the deaths of Brutus and Cassius, and Antony's army emerges triumphant. Antony praises Brutus as the noblest Roman of all and orders a proper formal funeral for him. So, like that, the play it will be continuing after this scene, and the common people of Rome, they try to kill the conspirators, and they manage to catch, after knowing the truth, that Caesar was a noble man, and he was a great man and a good man, and who did so many services for Rome, and who won so many battles for Rome. In order to make Rome great, the backbone of Rome was Caesar. So, when they came to know the truth that it was the conspirators, who killed Caesar. So Brutus, meanwhile, Brutus and Cassius, they try to flee away from the city. And then Antony and his supporters gather an army to defeat Brutus and his supporters' suspicion. So Antony, he gathers an army and he defeats Brutus and his supporters. So like that we can see suspicion, mistrust, and a series of misunderstandings which lead to the deaths of Brutus and Cassius. So in that battle, Brutus and Cassius, they will be dying, and Antony's army emerges triumphant. So Mark Antony, he will be standing triumphant is victorious. So Antony praises Brutus as the noblest man. So Antony, he praises Brutus that he is the noblest Roman of all, and orders a proper formal funeral for him. So this is the conclusion of this play. So all these we have seen the pictures. So in the next lesson we are going to do. So we have done Shakespeare Retold Julius Caesar, an extract from Act 3, Scene 2, the pre-reading activity. He is William Shakespeare and he is Julius Caesar, he is Brutus, and he is Mark Antony, he is Cassius, and he is Casca. And this is Capitol, which is a state legislature in Rome. And then here we have completed just the introduction of William Shakespeare, and in the next video we are going to do the play of Shakespeare Retold Julius Caesar. So thank you.